Good evening, everyone. I am officially the president of our local Toastmasters Club here in Brownsville, Texas. I've talked about Toastmasters Club a couple of times on this channel, but I have yet to make a video where I discuss at length as to why you should join Toastmasters if it's up your alley. Toastmasters is a proponent of public speaking and leadership. Or better said, leadership through public speech. If you live in a decent-sized town or city, there's definitely at least one Toastmasters club near you. Tonight, I'll be talking about 8 reasons as to why you should join Toastmasters if you either want to make a difference in your community or at the very least, you want to be a more active speaker in your dinner table. The number one, you approach Toastmasters, you want to know what it's about. Like I said, it is a strong proponent of public speaking and leadership. Everyone has had a terrible boss, a terrible professor, a terrible parent in some cases, because no one wants to deal with that, much less become that. You must be the change that you want to see in the world. Nobody teaches leadership in high school. Nobody teaches leadership in public education. Therefore, Toastmasters has almost a dozen different what are called pathways. I'll discuss those in detail later on. Toastmasters has different pathways specifically tailored to what type of leader you want to become. The second reason to join Toastmasters would be the networking aspect to it. Toastmasters is very attractive to a certain type of person. The people that join Toastmasters are very positive-minded. They like to think about growth, where they can grow and improve in. They might even be the local rising stars, possibly even the movers and shakers of your community. That is the type of person that you should be hanging out with. If you join Toastmasters and put in the effort to grow as a person like everyone else in the club, you will become far more influential, whether it's in your committee or board, or like I said, within your dinner table. The third reason, support. There is no growth without support. Well, I was going to say stage, but you could get in front of the webcam delivering your first Toastmaster speech. It could be beautiful, Oscar-worthy. You're making us cry. You're going to get a big round of applause. On the other hand, it could be your first Toastmaster speech. You forget some of it. You go, and you're ultra nervous. You somehow, some way carry it through. You're still getting the same round of applause. We are there to see you grow. Everyone there is on the same team. That is not to say that we're just blindly throwing toxic positivity. No. Every speech has evaluators. You will get honest but tactful feedback in areas where you're good at and in where to improve upon. Fourth reason to join, membership is extremely cheap for what it's worth. It is less expensive than a Netflix subscription. Your first 6 months are $65. Every subsequent 6 months are $45. That is a steal. You will be getting a curriculum for becoming a better leader. You'll learn to find confidence and skills within yourself. You'll be surrounded by great supportive friends. You'll come out of your Toastmasters pathway a stronger person than you went in if you put in the effort. And at $105 and at $110 for the first year, that is a steal. Reason number 5, Toastmasters is entirely self-paced. There's over 357,000 Toastmasters around the world, Everyone experiences the Toastmasters program differently. No two Toastmasters journeys are the same. To begin with, you are given 11 different pathways, different curriculums to choose from, depending on what type of leader you want to become. My pathway, for example, is called Visionary Communication. This one emphasizes the idea of knowing how to present an idea to plant your vision in the minds of others. There's other pathways include how to be an effective giver of presentations. There's one called Dynamic Leadership. There's even a pathway called Engaging Humor, which is the pathway that you want to go through if you want to become either a stand-up comic or simply want to make your stories more exciting by making your audience laugh. Reason number 6. You choose a pathway, you give your icebreaker speech, you will be evaluated. The evaluations are there to keep track of your habits. If you look out for them, you see them in everyone. Some people say some people say like every 5 seconds, some people end their sentences with you know. Everyone has them. The evaluators are there to point out habits in a positive way so that you might fix them. Maybe your pace is fast when it doesn't need to be fast, or it's slow when you don't need to be slow. Maybe you stand stiff as a log. Maybe you speak so soft. Or maybe you speak so loud. The evaluators are there to encourage you to be the best speaker you can be by nudging you in the correct direction. Once you're comfortable with your prepared speeches, maybe you want to try something a little more daring. Every Toastmasters club has what are called table topics. Table topics are impromptu speech prompts where you go on stage or in front of the webcam, you're given a prompt, then you have 1 to 2 minutes to give a speech about it. This is important in real life because what if someone says, hey, what do you think about the 2020 election? What do you think about COVID-19? What do you think about Jeffrey Epstein totally not killing himself? Even if you didn't prepare for it before that question was asked, Table Topics is there to prepare you for such an encounter. Table Topics is there for you to think on your feet, for you to logically come up with an intro, body, and conclusion to what you want to say, and finally to wrap it up with before 2 minutes. Finally, the ultimate reason to join Toastmasters would be to abide by the Pathways curriculum. Like I said, there's a curriculum for everyone. Everyone experiences it differently. But let me briefly go into depth as to what it contains. Each pathway has 5 levels. The first level is there to get you used to the idea of speaking in front of a crowd. The speeches there are generally freestyle. The second level is about discovering your communication style, your leadership style. What is it about you that you could put forth on the table to make you a better leader? Level 3 and beyond, don't ask me about beyond because I'm barely on level 3 myself. Level 3 and beyond is where you put your leadership to the test. That's when you start developing plans. That's when you start working on projects that use Toastmasters lessons. You do them in the real world, then you come back to the club, you make a speech about them. That's what Toastmasters is about. If you just become a public speaker within the club, that's like an animal, a very exotic, gorgeous animal in the zoo. No. You want to be free and wild. You want to influence your community, or at the very least, your circle of friends. That's what Toastmasters is about. Toastmasters is about making you a better person. It's a mental and personality workout. Some people like to work out their muscles during the pandemic. Well, right now is a great time for you to work out your mind and your leadership muscle. That's my pitch for Toastmasters. Like I said, there are Toastmasters all over the world, maybe one in your city. Right now, even if there isn't one, maybe you live in the middle of nowhere. Thanks to the glory of the internet, just reach out to any Toastmasters club that's available to the public right now. Any Toastmasters club that is using Zoom at the moment. Get the link, click on the link during their meeting time. They will be happy to accept you as a guest. Guests are totally free. They might even let you participate in a table topic. If you like what you see, if you like to hop on board, that's when you request membership. Then your the vice president of membership of that club will guide you the way. I love Toastmasters. I've been at it for a little over a year. All this started because I read Jeffrey Gitomer's book, The Little Red Book of Selling. Noticed that he loves Toastmasters. He's an advocate for it. A couple days later, I see a sponsored Facebook ad telling me that there's a Toastmasters club in Brownsville. I joined. I loved it. Then I somehow, some way became the president. Seriously, right now, during the pandemic, is the time to come out of Corona season with a couple different skills than you came in. One of those might be to become a better public speaker. Stay healthy, everyone. Have a good week. Take care and kick ass.